Welcome to Way Station Podcast. My name is Joshua, based in Adelaide, Australia. We're back with another episode, and we're gonna talk about uh we're gonna talk about a topic which is called the addiction that no one talks about. The things that are addictive that nobody talk about. We're coming in today at 10 p.m. in Adelaide time. Normally we come in a little bit earlier, but we want to do this nice session because then we want to talk about something. We want to discuss something. People are used to me doing a blog, but I want to settle things and trying to look into this. Trying to have some kind of discussion because it's not always like sometimes this is and by the way, if you don't know, this is what my thing was based on. The idea was based on trying to have some kind of discussion, having to have some kind of discussion with online and share things like this. Um, that's it's all about because I feel like I had a craving for speaking to people online and be able to like having to have some kind of discussion, like an open table. That's what I'm trying to do in this podcast. And even though, you know, it like, I do more blogging than actual discussion, it's not like that. We are just so you know that part. Anyway, let's get back to the topic. Today we're gonna talk about addiction that people don't talk about. Normally, when we talk addiction, we already be thinking about we things that are addictive. Like we know, we have smoking and this and that. I'm not gonna name all of them, but those things are addictive. But people have witnessed them. The obsessive use of smoking is why we see it as addiction. But they're the things that are addictive that we don't talk about. You know, number one will be scrolling, eating, drinking, more scrolling, Netflix, TV, even more scrolling. So the major issue here be like scrolling because the scrolling nobody talk about is what is it called? People don't even look at it like it's an addiction. But come on, let's look at the obsession of how much how much scrolling we do per day. Like in one day, you be going through like thousands of pictures without even you realizing that how much addiction you're getting yourself into. Because um, I follow these guys on Instagram. These guys on Instagram, they the thing they talk about is what things that don't get people hit quickly. People like overlook them. You know what I mean? We all know that today generation we're more exposed to like information and like uh that we not even getting enough. You know, and they were saying on their page that people are losing focus. They can't even focus on one little thing and to take something serious for once because the dopamine need to be fed with like we're not getting enough information throughout the day, so we're not even focusing on one tiny important thing. So 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 these are called like the mindless, like like we get like some kind of pleasure to like to like pleasure whatever. Let's say you're seeing a comedy, you want more comedy, or you want to see this information, you want to see more of that. But the obsessive consumption of this information is addiction. You know what I mean? Um, like people lost sleep at night because they just want to scroll a little bit more. You know what I mean? Just so you can get more information throughout the day or throughout the night. You know, you are actually people are exhausting themselves from this obsession consumption of information. Nobody talk about it. It's cool. You can scroll as much as you want. That's what going through people's mind. But we are overlooking the very ridiculous addiction. Like it's annoying. You know, it's getting annoying. It's actually annoying me right now that knowing that it's actually addiction and nobody want to talk about it. It's already annoying me personally. Because, oh man, really? So all this scrolling we are doing throughout the day, all over the world, is something that we are being exposed to. Like we have not even looked into the way to control it, you know, because we have we have like programs for smoking control and how to quit online, and we have all this program or how to control the thing that we know of. But this sneaky thing, that this scrolling here is something that we overlooked, you know, like um, we have program for stopping drinking. We have program for this. How come we not? How come the technology finesse our the technology that all we using our technology? Like how can we control it instead of like nobody have looked into it because the scrolling, even children are being affected. But this scrolling thing with the us getting more information and information that we not even get enough throughout the day. Throughout the day, you might go to like thousand of pictures, but you will not get enough. And they were talking about also how we may lose to focus into like we may lose focus into things that really matter because this is a mindless. What is it called? It's a meaningless pleasure. Like pretty much, you can watch a comedy and laugh. Meaningless, you know. There's no really what is it called? You know, this is a meaningless pleasure. Like we're feeding ourselves with throughout the day, you know. And if you lose how to focus and something like very important thing throughout the days, what you know? Why can't we come up with something to control how we can stop scrolling and stop the addiction of scrolling? You know, let's go into other addiction. You know, they talk about um, Netflix and TV. You know, like it's still on the same list as well, where like where we feel like we need to uh, like, but I wouldn't look at Netflix and stuff like a bad thing because like I feel like that like with the scrolling, like the obsessively like just using scrolling, I think even like would affect like a lot of I feel like with like a university student, like you know how lectures go for like 1 hour or 2 hours. How these people gonna focus if if they're all like if they are exposed to this scrolling as well? Like, bro, like back in the day, niggas like there was no internet or when whatever. People are more focused into lectures at a school. You could sit down and listen to a teacher, learn something that day, and take it home like a series. Like you would pay attention. But with this scrolling, it taking away all the attention that we're supposed to put into things that matter, so things that we're supposed to learn, because you're gonna feel like you need to scroll a little bit on the side while your teacher's talking. That's why I feel like that's where it's gonna affect some people, especially student, because you might like sneak peek, like sneak your phone in like into the class, just have a little scroll on the side, just for your dopamine or meaningless pleasure. You know, that's actually a good way to call it, because that's meaningless. You're supposed to have like more focus on things that matter. Anyway, man, be aware of the scrolling, of how much you scroll. That's the bottom line, you know. Be aware of how much you scroll throughout the day, because these you not gonna get enough information throughout the day. You're just gonna do the same thing again and again tomorrow. You know, as you realize now, you're gonna know how much annoying you it's gonna get by just scrolling, and then really just pay attention to yourself of how much scrolling you're doing. You know what I mean? Um, the question gonna come down to like if um these technology people, like whoever brought this quick info exposure, whoever bring this exposure to like information, if they can come with some kind of control, you know what I mean? Because they're gonna need a control for people to like to have more focus on the things that really matter into our like people daily life, you know? That's it for the night, guys. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. I will see you another time. It's always good to talk to you. It's Joshua.